So this is our case study for 2590 Union Street in San Francisco. And how in the world were we able to sell this house in such a challenging market? So 2590 Union is a very, very unique property. How we were able to sell in such a challenging market really comes down to my core philosophy, which is the 7 Ps. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. This reality rings true in just about any market, environment, but especially when things start getting tight, where preparing a property is paramount to be able to then present it to the world. And we had such a great opportunity with this property because number one, it was built in 1899. So it truly is a historic property that prominently sits on the corner of Divisadero and Union. And this history allowed us to create a narrative for presenting it to the world. And secondly, the property had been owned by the same family since 1970. The year I was born. So 53 years since I've been in the same family, which also allowed us a great narrative for telling the story of the home. But before we get into all of that, it really was about getting the house ready for the photo shoot, which, moving somebody out of a home where they had raised their family and been for 53 years is a monumental task to begin with. And the process started literally months ago. So the start to finish was about a 6-month project, to say the least. And, in terms of moving and vendors and coordinating and shipping and storing and selling and donating, that in itself was a Herculean effort taken on by the homeowner, by family, friends, realtors, vendors, everybody. So we had to really, create a schedule that we were able to stick to, and capturing the spring market for high-end sales is usually the best time to list. So we really had a time frame to work within. So creating that schedule, executing on it, it was a lot. But regardless, this is sort of, what needs to be done. So a phrase that doesn't get used much anymore, but I love is pride of ownership. And this homeowner really had maintained and updated the home throughout their 53-year ownership. So creating the plan for getting the house sort of ready for sale, there wasn't that much we needed to do. The big item was installing new carpet, which covered the stairs and the upper 2 levels. It's about 3,500 square feet worth of carpeting, choosing, the carpeting and the color and, the pile and everything, and installing that was gonna be, really important in terms of getting the house in a style that, suits today's buyer. There wasn't a ton of paint, but we lightened up a couple of rooms and, did a fair amount of touch up. But once the carpet install was done and the painting was done, we really had a beautiful palette to work with. And our stager that we work with a ton, Vesta, really does a great job in their installs, because what we're looking for is a style that really resonates with today's buyers and is in keeping with what is sort of popular right now. And so having some more contemporary furnishings in a home that is historically, significant, really sort of is kind of fun because you can see what the possibilities are. So staging a home is so important because it is scientifically and mathematically proven that staged properties do sell for more. So having a staged home really allows us to get the pictures and the digital, photography and video that we need to market the house, which is why the prior preparation is so important, because the whatever you're doing to the home needs to fold in very nicely with the staging, and then the staging sets the stage for our photography and video work, which of course that is what the buyers will interact with for the first time with the home is online. When that property hits the market, boom, you get an email if you're looking for a house, and it's the first thing you do is you look at those pictures. So we really need these pictures to be reflective of the home, and the staging provides that platform for us. And just to backtrack just a little bit more on the prior preparation, we work tirelessly to get all the disclosures ready for the home, including pre-inspections, general contractors, pests, structural, roof, chimneys, all of it, sewer lines, to have everything disclosed up front before we come on the market. The disclosure package is just an incredibly important tool for us to be able to educate the buyers, because an educated buyer is a one that's willing to pay. So back to the staging, once that is done, it's the photography and video that's next, and working closely with our vendors, we have a very intentional style that we implement, because we really want the pictures to reflect the home. So real estate is entertainment, and telling a good story about a house really allows us to get more people to be able to see, view, interact with the property. So for 2590 Union, I did a bit of extra research, and I found out who the original architect was, who happened to be, at the time, sort of a forward thinker in terms of architecture. And he really felt that Victorians were not the way to go. And so we came up with sort of a narrative about Mr. Tarp and his anti-Victorian philosophy of architecture. And the PR team at Compass helped us create a press release, and that got sent out to the various publications and journalists, and it got picked up. And then it really got some serious legs, because these bigger portals pick up these links that get a lot of action, and just gets reposted and reposted at all these various websites, and we got tons and tons of traffic from this PR campaign. And that was all due to the fact that we spent extra time to come up with, okay, what do we think is gonna get a lot of traction in terms of interest in the home. And that's either who has lived there in the past, who built it, I don't know, there needs to be something. So for 2590 Union, the PR campaign was tremendously successful, and it was another tool for us to use to reach the buyers. So in conclusion, this was a combination in terms of a successful sale, was the prior preparation. We love the 7 Ps, and really intentionally thinking about what the design was going to be and what the look was, coupled with the PR campaign that really set us above the rest, sort of cleared us from the rest of the market noise out there. And then very clear marketing campaign strategy that we did for social media and targeted digital ads, and of course marketing the agent community. So you don't just put it onto the MLS and there you go. We had a full plan in terms of what we do to execute our marketing after we came on the MLS. So all of these things combined with showings and open houses, allowed us to get into contract after 35 days and get an all cash, non-contingent offer and close it out. So really great, amazing, unique property to work on. And we really have experience in terms of how to present these these types of properties, high-end luxury properties with interesting stories to tell, to bring it to the world. So super fun to work on it. Thanks for listening, and look out for the next one.